Good morning, distinguished guests. I am Dr. Adanna, one of the coordinators of today's event. I hail from a vibrant town in Nigeria, where I spent my formative years before venturing out into the world. I hold a medical degree from the prestigious University of Lagos and a PhD in medicine from Harvard University in the USA. While these achievements bring joy to many, my journey was not always smooth. Before I delve into my story, I would like to invite Dr. Adanna, a courageous advocate, to share her own journey. Though her path was different from mine, her resilience and determination are truly inspiring. Dr. Adanna, please join us and share your story. As Dr. Adanna steps onto the podium, applause fills the room. Good morning, she begins, her voice strong yet filled with emotion. I welcome you all to this memorable program. It is with mixed feelings that I share my story today. This is my journey. I was born and raised in Jola. Njala semi-urban town is nestled in the heart of Africa, surrounded by lush greenery and vibrant wildlife. The town is a vibrant hub of activity, with bustling markets filled with colorful fabrics, spices, and fresh produce. The people of Njala are known for their warm hospitality and strong sense of community. Traditional values are deeply rooted in daily life, with ceremonies and rituals playing an important role in the fabric of society. Despite its semi-urban status, Njala retains a strong connection to its rural roots. Many residents are farmers, tending to crops such as cassava, yams, and maize in the surrounding fields. The town is also known for its skilled artisans, who craft beautiful pottery, baskets, and carvings. Jola is a place where modernity meets tradition, where the rhythms of daily life are punctuated by the beat of traditional drums and the call to prayer from the mosque. It is a place of contrast and contradictions, where the old ways of life coexist with the pressures of modernity. One of the most deeply entrenched practices in Jola is female genital mutilation, FGM, a ritual performed on all girls when they turn 15. This practice, while steeped in tradition and viewed as a rite of passage into womanhood, has faced increasing scrutiny due to its harmful effects. The procedure, conducted without anesthesia by traditional practitioners, leaves lasting physical and emotional scars on the girls. Despite these risks, FGM is considered a symbol of purity and virtue in Jola, and its continuation is fiercely defended by many in the community. However, winds of change are blowing through Jola. A new generation is emerging, one that questions the necessity and morality of this age-old tradition. Among them is Adanna, a young girl whose story embodies the struggle between tradition and progress, and the resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity. However, among the girls approaching their 15th birthdays was Adanna, a spirited young woman with a curiosity that stretched beyond the boundaries of her village. Adanna had heard whispers from travelers passing through Jola, tales of the effects of FGM in other towns. Stories of pain, infection, and lasting trauma had seeped into her consciousness, planting seeds of doubt about the tradition she was expected to follow. On the eve of her birthday, Adanna sought solace beneath the sprawling baobab tree on the outskirts of the village. She sat in silence, the gentle rustle of the leaves overhead a soothing backdrop to her tumultuous thoughts. As the moon rose high in the sky, casting a silver glow over the land, Adanna made her decision. When the morning sun bathed Njala in golden light, Adanna stood before her family and the elders of the village, her resolve unwavering. With a voice that trembled but did not falter, she declared that she would not undergo the ritual of FGM. She spoke of the stories she had heard, of the pain and suffering inflicted upon girls in other towns, and she vowed that she would not allow herself to be subjected to the same fate. There was a stunned silence in the village square, broken only by the rustle of the wind through the trees. The elders looked upon Adanna with a mix of shock and disapproval, while her family struggled to comprehend her defiance. Yet, despite the fear and uncertainty that gripped her heart, Adanna stood tall, her eyes fixed on the horizon, where a new dawn awaited, one where the voices of girls like her would be heard and respected. In the days that followed Adanna's declaration, the pressure on her and her family grew. The elders of the village, steeped in tradition, saw her defiance as a threat to the very fabric of their culture. They spoke of the importance of upholding the traditions of their ancestors, of the need to preserve their way of life in the face of modernity. Adanna's parents, torn between their love for their daughter and their allegiance to tradition, found themselves at a crossroads. They knew that to defy the elders would bring shame upon their family and could have far-reaching consequences. Reluctantly, they approached Adanna, their eyes filled with sorrow and resignation. "Adanna, my child," her father began, his voice heavy with emotion. "We understand your fears and your doubts, but we cannot ignore the wishes of the elders. It is a tradition that has been followed for generations, and we must respect it." Tears welled up in Adanna's eyes as she listened to her father's words. She knew the pain and disappointment her decision had caused her family, and she felt the weight of their expectations bearing down upon her. With a heavy heart, she nodded her consent, agreeing to undergo the ritual of FGM. On the day of the ceremony, the village was alive with activity. Adanna was adorned in traditional attire, her body adorned with intricate patterns of henna. She was led to a secluded hut where the procedure would take place, surrounded by women who would guide her through this ordeal. As the ritual began, Adanna closed her eyes, trying to block out the pain and the fear that threatened to overwhelm her. She thought of the stories she had heard, of the girls who had suffered before her, and she prayed that she would find the strength to endure. When it was over, Adanna emerged from the hut, her face a mask of stoicism. She knew that the physical scars would fade with time, but the emotional scars would remain forever. Yet, despite the pain and the trauma, a spark of defiance still flickered in her eyes, a reminder that she was more than a victim of tradition, she was a survivor, a symbol of resilience in the face of adversity. As the days passed, Adanna struggled to come to terms with what had happened to her. The physical pain from the procedure was intense, but it was nothing compared to the emotional turmoil that raged within her. She felt a deep sense of betrayal, not only by her family and community but also by herself. She had sacrificed her body and her dignity in the name of tradition, only to be left feeling broken and alone. Despite her pain, Adanna tried to carry on with her life as best as she could. She returned to her daily chores, her face a mask of stoicism, hiding the turmoil that raged within her. But the whispers and the stares followed her wherever she went, a constant reminder of what she had endured. As time passed, Adanna began to withdraw from those around her. She felt disconnected from her family and her friends, unable to relate to their lives and their struggles. She spent more and more time alone, seeking solace in the quiet of the countryside, far away from the prying eyes of the village. As Adanna grew older, she became increasingly aware of the physical and emotional toll that FGM had taken on her. She struggled with intimacy, experiencing recurring infections and a deep sense of shame and betrayal. Despite these challenges, Adanna refused to let her past define her. Determined to make a difference, Adanna pursued a career in medicine, specializing in women's health. She studied tirelessly, driven by a desire to understand the complexities of the human body and to help others avoid the pain and suffering she had endured. As she delved deeper into her studies, Adanna became an advocate for women's rights, speaking out against the practice of FGM and raising awareness about its harmful effects. She traveled to villages and towns across the country, educating communities about the importance of ending this harmful tradition. Through her work, Adanna touched the lives of countless women and girls, offering them hope and a voice in a world that often sought to silence them. She became a beacon of strength and resilience, a living testament to the power of courage and determination in the face of adversity. Her tireless advocacy efforts led to significant changes in policies and practices, promoting the health and rights of women across her community and beyond. Adanna's inspiring journey from a silenced victim to a powerful advocate resonated deeply, encouraging others to stand up and fight against oppressive traditions. Her legacy extended beyond her immediate impact, as she mentored a new generation of activists, ensuring that her mission for justice and equality would continue to thrive. As she lowered the microphone, the entire hall erupted in overwhelming applause.
Thank you for watching. For more African folktales, be sure to subscribe to our channel.